Winter is coming, and that means gift buying is at hand. So today I'm sharing my top 20 memorable gift ideas for the D&D or TTRPG fans in your life, and stick around to the end for a few high-dollar ideas. Starting with the only thing on this list that you probably predicted, we have a dice advent calendar. This one is from Dice Envy, and I've already opened up the first one just to get a sense of what it's like, and I was pleasantly surprised to find a D2, better known as a coin. Check it out because it's a festive, naughty, and nice coin, which means that this is more than just 24 sets of 7-set dice, making this a good choice for the dice goblins in your life. By the way, I will leave a link to this as well as every other item in the video in the description, and I will label which ones are affiliate links and which ones are not. But now let's get weird, because this is not a Dr. Seuss book. Instead, this is a paraphrasing of H.P. Lovecraft's Call of Cthulhu for beginning readers. So if you have anyone who's a fan of cosmic horror or who plays the Call of Cthulhu role-playing game, strongly consider this one, because not only is it visually styled for beginner readers, but the entire thing is written in a rhyming scheme that you might expect. Let me read one page for you just so you have an idea of what I'm talking about. All of the experts in Engel had taken an oath not to speak of that cult nor encourage its growth. With the mad implications of what they had heard, they would research in secret and not say a word. And this is published by Chaosium, who are the same people behind the role-playing game, and they have other similar books as well, such as H.P. Lovecraft's Dagon, which, as you can see, I haven't opened yet. I'm saving it for a special occasion. Now, mystery meat. That's right, this is a bag of fantasy-themed meat sticks, and specifically it's the Mythical Meats Cryptid Christmas Variety Pack. And while we're here, I'll crack this one open just to get an idea of what you might get. Bigfoot, unicorn, and chupacabra. Now, most dice will last a lifetime, but this one will barely make it past dinner, because this is the Freeze Forms dice mold, which is a dice mold designed for making dice out of ice. You simply fill up the silicone mold, close it up, and chuck it in your freezer, and then a few hours later, you're going to have, in this case, a D10 shaped ice cube, though I believe they make one for nearly every single die in a set, so you can choose the best one that fits for you, like a D20. So in other words, you can make a dice cube. This is obviously a perfect pairing to go with some nerdy cocktails, and it just so happens that I have the perfect solution for that as well. This is Dungeon Meister, the deck of many drinks. Every cocktail in this deck of cards not only comes with a real-life cocktail recipe in the included booklet, but also has artwork and in-game effects for your character as if they had consumed that drink. So whether you pair this with a game or just enjoy some dorky libations during the holidays, this is a natural pick for anyone who likes craft cocktails and D&D. And then toss in the dice cube ice mold and you have yourself a pretty awesome pair. But keep watching, because later on we have some non-alcoholic drink gift ideas that are just as cool, if not cooler. This might be the first time you're hearing about One Card Maze. And while it's not explicitly made for TTRPGs, I can almost guarantee that anyone who likes a good dungeon puzzle is going to love what these have to offer. Each card included in the One Card Maze is, as the name suggests, a maze. And it's one that you complete without any pins or pencils. Instead, you simply progress through the maze with your mind or finger. But you have to navigate through different doorways that can only be passed through if the card is facing the right direction, and you can only change the direction when you access these spinning rooms, and every maze is on both sides of the card, so it's never quite as simple as it looks. Each of these are a fun, challenging puzzle to solve, and an awesome gift to receive. This is a giant foam D20, and truthfully, you don't need much more explanation than that. You can throw it at people, bounce it off a wall, and do whatever else you want. Like kick it into a field. I also hear that a lot of tables who have these will use this as the dice of shame. For any players who forget to bring their dice, they have to roll this giant dice instead, which I think is fun. You'll know Hero Forge as the mini customizing website, a place where you can fully design your own miniatures for your tabletop games and then have them printed out and sent to you. And truthfully, their offerings in this sense are unrivaled, and they're not sponsoring today's video. But they're able to print your minis in a variety of different materials, including color print. So grabbing a Hero Forge gift card for someone in your life who has a mini that they want to design and print can be a huge, huge gift. At least until that character dies, which, you know, It could happen. The Heroes Feast cookbook is already as stable in the D&D gift-giving economy, and so out of respect, I had to make sure that it made it on this list. This is the official Dungeons & Dragons cookbook. Maybe I should have pointed at this. The official Dungeons & Dragons cookbook, full of fun and varied recipes, such as Underdark Lotus with fire-lichened spread, and pan-fried knucklehead trout. They also have some desserts, so if your friend's into cooking, or maybe their resolution is going to be to cook, this could be an epic contribution. Now, perhaps one of the simplest first concepts to understand in this video is this. This is a dice mail. This is a chainmail dice bag. And yes, that's exactly what it sounds like. Meaning that not only can you see what dice are in the bag, but they'll also be protected from any sword-wielding attackers that may wish to see them harmed. Just make sure you have the proper proficiencies before equipping. Earlier we talked nerdy cocktails, but what about nerdy tea? Many Worlds Tavern is a company that makes exactly that. Their teas are all fantasy themed with amazing artwork and are all delicious, at least the ones I've tried so far. And they even have one recurring tea called the Fabled Foliage that comes with a matching set of dice. I still have some of my Fabled Foliage here, although it probably will not last the winter. But they have coffee too, so there's something there for everyone. Now the true gift that keeps on giving is sleep, and that's where today's sponsor, Manta Sleep, comes in. Manta Sleep is a leader in the pro-nap movement, making sleep masks with a premium feel and full adjustability. But they also seem to have made a mask for literally everyone, like the weighted mask and the sound mask, perfect for anyone who likes to fall asleep to their favorite sleep sounds playlist. And even better, from November 19th to the 27th, Manta Sleep has 15% off site-wide, plus a free holiday recharge kit with your order. So go check out Manta Sleep using the link in the description to get 10% off your order, and thank you to Manta Sleep for sponsoring today's video. Now, continuing with the cozy trend, we have Mythologie Candles. That's right, not only do we have fantasy-themed meats, cocktails, and teas, we also have fantasy-themed or scented candles. They have a ton of scent options, like Enter the Dragon's Lair and You Meet in a Tavern. I used to have the You Meet in a Tavern candle, but I burned it all the time, and now it's gone. But I will say that it definitely conjured up the feeling or the scent of being in a fantasy, lively tavern. They also have other thematic candles, like ones for different Lord of the Rings characters, so you're likely to find a candle to fit whoever you're buying a gift for, even if that's yourself. Did you know that Lego makes D&D miniature packs? Well, they do, and they're awesome. This is one that I got, but as we all know, the Venn diagram of Lego and Dungeons and Dragons has a pretty significant overlap, so this is a really safe bet for pretty much anyone you might be shopping for. Now, nothing says D&D room or D&D dungeon quite like a neon sign. And if you've seen any of my videos before, including this one, you'll know that I have one back there on the wall. The one I have is very simple. It dims and it brightens, and otherwise it just does what it's supposed to do, which is to broadcast to anyone around that you are indeed a dork. Now, there are many fidget dice on the market these days, and it's hard to say with any certainty which one is the best. But here are a couple that I've recently received. You have this one that spins from the center, but also spins from the sides, and all these wheels spin independently as well, making this one just extremely fidgety. And then similar but different, we have this one that spins like so and like so. Lots of options out there. And if you have someone who likes to fidget and likes to play D&D, having a couple sets of fidget dice on hand can make things all the better. What I'm holding now, though, is actually a 60-sided D20, where the numbers 1 through 20 each appear 3 times. But this one specifically is physically balanced through careful manufacturing and mathematically balanced based on the layout of the numbers to make this one of the fairest dice ever made. I talk about this more in another video, which I will link to in the description, but if you're a dice collector or enjoy dabbling in what I call dice theory, then this could be an amazing addition to any collection. And now for the last 4 items on the list. Each of these are incredible gift ideas that go above and beyond in different ways. And because of this, they're also quite a bit more expensive. But first, if you've liked the video so far, please make sure to like it and subscribe to the channel. It does a lot to help me out, but also helps train the algorithm to favor your preferences later on. These are Pixel's Smart Dice. They light up when you roll them, but via the use of the Pixel's companion app, you can program different colors and animations based on numbers rolled, send web requests, and even trigger text to voice from the app whenever you roll a certain number, making these high-tech dice at their best. You can even order them to come with a very convenient charging case for the best all-around experience. Another gift that keeps on giving is a 3D printer. And this is especially true for anyone who's into tabletop role-playing games, because printers allow you to print minis, terrain, accessories, props, and anything else that you might need to really elevate your game. Now, I personally use Bamboo Lab printers. I've got 2 that you can see behind me here. I use Bamboo Lab because they're extremely easy to use, but also create very high-quality prints. And you can often find their smallest entry-level printer, the Bamboo Lab A1 Mini, for between $200 and $300, depending on whether it's on sale. Time of recording this, in the US at least, it is on sale for $200, so just keep that in mind. Now, you may recognize Carp from a viral video where they made a massive, towering, beautiful dice tower that rolled dice. But did you know that they also make incredible handmade wooden accessories, like this mimic chest here, which is perfect for dice and mini storage? And on a similar note, we have the Hide and Sneak leather TTRPG case. This is a fully handmade leather case made by a small company called Hide and Sneak, and it comes built in with things like spell card slots, a dice tray that's built into the bag that you can snap together, like so, places for papers and notebooks. But that's it, 20 memorable gift ideas for the TTRPG nerds in your life. If you want to see some more bizarre TTRPG accessories, I recommend you check out this video next. But until I see you next time, have an excellent, excellent day.